Hi, my name is Macy King. I was born and raised in the south suburbs of East Chicago Heights, Illinois. I am a 70-year-old African American female raised in the tradition of the Baptist and the Methodist Church. I am a mother, grandmother, great grandmother, retired educator, retired elder in full connection in the United Methodist Church, and a pastoral counselor at a local church here in the area. Becoming a practitioner scholar, I am learning the importance of making certain that I don't compare or contrast what I've learned during my lifetime to interfere in my research in my research study when it relates to practitioners or participants' attitudes or perceptions I seek to interview or survey during my project. Through my teaching and counseling skills, I have learned the importance of being an active and careful listener and not project my thoughts into a conversation while the client or consumer is talking. These skills have begun to teach me how to become observant and stay away from a judgmental attitude, but be objective. As I think about the research study that I seek to explore, I must be careful of being a mother figure, teacher, and counselor when interviewing my participants. I must be objective and not prone to help them with their decision making process or coach them to answer the questions the way I think they should. My special education, pastoral, clinical counseling, and ministerial duties has taught me the importance of learning my hot spots so that I don't get caught up in the client or consumer's issues while I'm interviewing or surveying them for the project. What I have learned over the past is that learning to use silence to give the client or the client or the participant time to respond. I'm learning how to summarize the question when a participant or the client doesn't understand the survey or the question. At times, I journal my thoughts to make certain that I remain focused on the subject matter at hand. Some of the subjective eyes that come to mind as I think about the research that I desire to explore would be the following: the community eye, the educator eye, the ethnic eye, the counselor eye, and the clergy eye. The question: what subjective labels are left out that may be influential to me as a practitioner, scholar, or student at this point may be the justice-seeking eye and understanding the human nature eye. My experiences in teaching, counseling, administrative, and ministerial duties are the strengths that will help me as a practitioner, scholar. They help me stay focused and look beyond what is in front of me and be creative and open. Careful reflection on subjective eyes. My subjective eyes, my educator eye, the community eye, the ethnic eye, the teacher eye, could cause me some difficulty as a researcher depending on the particular study that I choose to explore. When using various assessment methods to obtain research data, I must be open minded, especially when it comes to my teaching. I remind myself it is not a teaching moment. When it comes to a community or ethnic issue, I must be mindful of my attitude or perception dealing with the problems that may affect my community or other minorities. While researching the topic, I will employ certain flags to remind me that I am boarding on the edge of trying to influence the participants' answers or opinions. In recognizing my subjectivity, issues, and biases, I will continue to write in my journal, talk with my friends and mentors to get constructive criticism, and pay careful attention as to how I'm interviewing and recognizing any hot spots, stop for a second, and begin with a different approach or technique. The topic that I choose to explore at this moment is a mixed methods comparative study of the various attitudes of 12 to 15-year-olds from rural and metropolitan cities as it relates to the Black Lives Matter movement. My reasoning for choosing this topic is that many African American youth don't want to talk about our history. Some feel as that was in the past and doesn't relate to them in the 21st century. Currently, in our society, many African Americans are being killed due to police brutality. Nothing is happening to curtail the problem and the rise of systemic racism. I feel there is a need for someone to ask young people between the ages of 12 to 15 year old how they feel about the Black Lives Matter movement and their perception of how it will affect them in the future. The subjective eyes that I presented earlier, educator eye, ethnic eye, community eye, counselor eye, and clergy eye, play an essential role in how I pose the interview or the survey questions to allow the participants to make their valid reasons for their personal opinions or their attitudes toward the movement.